Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and Tim, and doing a Cloudian deck profile. So I'm really excited with this one because this deck basically takes Link Summoning and spins it on its head with how many times you can actually use Turbulence in this deck to really stir up some turbulence between you and your opponent, because you can actually make Tri-Gate Wizard with multiple gates with your Appaloosa and your Tri-Gate on your side of the field, which is really nice to be able to do. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out that Patreon because we have some awesome rewards for you guys, like getting a signed card sent to you in the mail, getting your name description for every single video, or even getting to request a deck profile just like this one every single month that you are a patron. So let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Cloudian Turbulence. So Cloudian Turbulence is basically the big boss of the deck. I know that doesn't look like much. It is just an 800 attack one monster, but if you've ever heard of the Agent of Creation Venus, it's like this, but on diesel fuel, which is insane. Basically what it does is it can't be destroyed by battle, which all the Cloudians share that ability, that it can't be destroyed by battle. And if this card is face up, in face of defense position, you destroy it. All Cloudians also share that ability. And when this card is normal summoned, you can place a fog counter on this card. A lot of them share the ability to put fog counters on monsters. But when you put a fog counter on for each Cloudian monster on the field, you can remove a fog counter to special summon 1 Cloudian smoke ball from your deck or from either player's graveyard, which is really cool because we play 3 copies of smoke ball. So smoke ball, I know, is really cute, but basically is what the entire deck revolves around. So basically what you want to do as quickly as possible, get your copy of Turbulence on the field and then start generating smoke balls onto your side of the field to be able to link away to go in a Tri-Gate Wizard, Appaloosa, all sorts of stuff like that to get all sorts of monsters on your side of the field to be able to basically lock your opponent down and have multiple disruptions on the board. Then we play 3 copies of Cloudian Storm Dragon. Storm Dragon is a really neat card because this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing from play, or removing 1 Cloudian monster from your graveyard from play. And this card cannot be destroyed by battle, and if this card is in face of defense position, destroy it, and then once per turn you can place a fog counter on 1 monster on the field, which can be your Cloudian Turbulence. We play 3 copies of Cloudian Cirrus. Cirrus is really good because it can't be destroyed by battle. So when defense, it destroys itself, and then when it's normal summon, you can place a fog counter on it, and then you remove 2 fog counters from it to destroy a monster on the field, which is really good because you have that little bit of disruption. And I also really like that it's a cat. It's really cute. Then we play 1 copy of Acid Cloud. Acid Cloud is essentially MSC by removing 2 fog counters from it, and when it's normal summon, you put a fog counter on it as well. We play 2 copies of Cloudian Altus. Altus is really good because when it's normal summoned, you put a fog counter on it, and you can remove 3 fog counters from it, and if you discard a random card from your opponent's hand. I like that ability to just get rid of a card from your opponent's hand. That's really nice. We play a single copy of Cloudian Eye of the Typhoon for the last Cloudian monster. Basically, this card is here because you can special summon it off of the effect of Aerosol, which is really nice because you just basically banish this card into Cloudian from your graveyard, special summon a Cloudian from your deck. So I used that to special summon Eye of the Typhoon, because when this card battles, you change all the battle positions of all face-up monsters except for Cloudians, because if your Cloudians go to defense, they destroy themselves. Also, for a 3k beat stick not being able to destroy by battle, not bad. So that's it for the Cloudians, guys. Let's get into the other support. So we're going to be playing 2 copies of Mother Grizzly. Mother Grizzly is a kind of an interesting card in here because when it's destroyed by battle, you could special summon a water monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck, which I'll give you a hint what we're special summoning every single time. But we have so many other cards in the deck to get into that card that I just played at 2 instead of 3, like a lot of people play that card. I played 2 copies of Aqua Spirit. Aqua Spirit's really nice in this deck because what this card does is it basically is free real estate for linking link plays and just banishing a card from graveyard to go into Bahamut Shark, and then overlay this card with another Cloudian monster because they're all water to go into a copy of like Bahamut Shark, and then link or detach material, summon Totally Awesome, and you're basically getting 2 monsters on the field, which then you can link away the copy of Bahamut Shark to be able to go into more monsters, which is really cool, but leaving the Totally Awesome on the field because we don't have to have it in a zone that a link monster points to anymore. You can just put it on the other side of the board that you're not working off of to make your link plays. And it's just an extra disruption. And then we play 3 copies of Summoner Monk. The Summoner Monks really help out because they help you get into Turbulence really fast. And it also really helps out because you can go into Utopia double as well, because this deck is really good at going into Utopia double because everything is a level 4 just about. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Card Destruction because in this deck, you really want to get into Turbulence as quickly as possible. So the Card Destruction helps you dig through the deck a little bit easier. One copy of Utopia, or Double or Nothing. I want to say Utopia Double, but Double or Nothing. Because what this card does is basically makes your monster go up to 10,000 when you attack with Utopia Double, which is really nice to be able to just OTK your opponent. One copy of Pot of Desires. You can't Desires into a Desires if you're only playing a single copy of Desires. I know, it's crazy, but it's my logic around Desires, is I only like one copy of it in a deck because you can't draw Desires off of a copy of Desires if you only have one, which is nice. 2 copies of Moray of Greed. Moray of Greed just lets you shuffle back your water monsters into the deck to draw 3 cards. 2 back into the deck to draw 3. So it helps you break even a little bit. 3 copies of Fog Control. Fog Control really helps out because you basically just remove a Cloudian or a Fog. You tribute a copy of like a Smoke Ball and then put 3 more Fog counters on your copy of Turbulence, which gets you 3 more Smoke Balls on your side of the field to use as link material, which is super helpful. 3 copies of Call by the Grave because it helps out with dealing with hand traps and you just don't want to deal with those. And then we play the new best card of the deck, which did come out of Dark Neostorm, which has been a little while, but it's still a really good card. But Cloudian Aerosol is an insanely good card that lets you discard a Cloudian monster, and then you get to target a Cloudian monster on the field and place fog counters on it equal to that monster's level. So if you target Turbulence, you put 4 fog counters on Turbulence. Basically, 4 free smoke balls, which is good, and you already normal summon it and get 1, so that's 5 right off the bat, which is super nice, which gets you essentially 6 link materials, which can be a Appaloosa and a Phoenix, so it can't be destroyed by battle, which is nice. And it also has the ability that you can banish this card and a Cloudian monster from your graveyard to special summon a Cloudian monster in your deck, and you can only use 1 Cloudian Aerosol effect per turn. So you also have a follow-up play to get your Eye of the Typhoon out, just so you can help kind of OTK your opponent a little bit if you need to, because you already have the disruptions down, but you also have some backup plays with the Aerosol. So that's it for the monsters, guys, or the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. I do play 3 traps in here, which you can change out if you want to, but I really like these 3 traps in here, and that is 3 copies of Spirit Barrier, okay? So why am I playing Spirit Barrier? So if my opponent does hand trap me and stop me from going into other plays, the Spirit Barrier really helps out because these can't be destroyed in battle. Okay, it's a really old school tech for Cloudians, but basically what you do is you normal summon one of your Cloudians. Let's say that you try and activate your Turbulence, they infinite impermanence it or something like that, and I set the Spirit Barrier. Okay, when their turn comes around and they try and attack me, I activate the Spirit Barrier, and as long as I have a monster, their main face on my side of the field, I don't take any damage calculation. Like, I don't take any battle damage at all, which is really nice. And I have to say, it's really sad on this card because he's just like getting pinned against the wall, which is so sad. But basically, that's what you're trying to do, is make it so you don't take the battle damage. So you can go into your link plays and just overwhelm your opponent. But the Spirit Barrier really helps out because, especially if you have Appaloosa and your opponent's trying to swing through the Appaloosa, you can just flip this card if it's pointing to a Phoenix or a Phoenix is pointing to it. And that's going to be a big play in this deck. That's a standard play where you have Appaloosa with 3 or 4 negates on it, and then having a Phoenix pointing to it so it can't be destroyed by battle, which is really nice. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Trigate Wizard because it's got a good negate effect that once per turn, if all 3 of its materials are co-linked, that you can quick effect negate the activation of a card and destroy it, or banish it, which is really nice. Appaloosa, which is really good because for every material you put into her, she has another negate and she gains 800, so she can come out at 32, which is really nice. Boral Sword to OTK, Yugioh to dig through the deck if you need to. Unicorn just to be able to bounce cards. Now, Phoenix, usually I don't use it for its other effect. The Phoenix is really cool because if this card is link summoned, you can discard a card and then target a spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. Then if this card was co-linked, you can draw another card. You only select Nightmare Phoenix once per turn, and then if this card is co-linked, or co-linked monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. So if it's co-linked to something like a Appaloosa, like this, then you're automatically going to make it so all of the other monsters that are co-linked with this can't be destroyed, which is really cool, including the Phoenix. So if you end up with something like I'll show you at the end of an ideal board, which is not hard to do, which you also play Cerberus, which makes them not be able to destroy card effects, which also lets you pop monsters, it's really good. Security Dragon is really good in here too because it doesn't have to be like Akashic Magician where it has to actually point at the monster. And this card just takes 2 monsters and it just bounces a card on your opponent's side of the field. So I play this as a 1-of. Link Spatter because you can use it with your copies of Smoke Ball. You can link into this with the Smoke Ball. And then if you have a Smoke Ball sitting in your hand, you can special summon it for free. 1 copy of Link Rebo just to be able to have it for the materials. And both of them point down. So it helps you extra link your opponent if you can do that. Which is not super hard. You just have to have like both of these, a Nightmare Phoenix and a Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus and a Unicorn on their side of the field, and you just basically have all 3 of these, and then these in the extra monster zone essentially, and it makes it so you extra link really easily. It does take a lot of materials to go into, but this deck generates a lot of materials. 1 copy of Utopia Double and Utopia just to OTK your opponent, making that 10,000 beat stick. Number 60, Timeless, because it can double the attack of a monster. It lets you discard 2, or just draw 2 and discard 1 to skip your next draw phase. Bahamut Shark and Totally Awesome are really good in this deck because you play a lot of water monsters, and this card can help you go into Toad, which is super nice to prevent your cards from being destroyed by card effects, just negating stuff, which is really nice. It essentially gives you an additional interruption, which is nice. So that's it for the deck, guys. I'm going to show you really quickly what the ideal board of this deck is. It's not super hard to establish, but if you can extra link in this deck, but you're not really going for the extra link so much. You're basically going for this, where you're going Appaloosa, Trigate, and then a copy of Phoenix and Cerberus pointing to it. If you can get this lock, you have 5 negates on field, and they can be destroyed by battle or by card effects, which is really nice. And then you can always, if they do break this lock, you can always just link these 2 away and then go for something like a copy of Yugioh or Nightmare Unicorn like this to have you a little bit more of a beat to be able to attack and draw cards, which is super nice. So you have a lot of utility in this deck, which is not super hard to pull off. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want to see like a test hand of this deck, definitely let me know. And if we get enough likes on this video and we get enough requests of it, I'll do some test hands of Cloudians, which I thought would be a lot of fun for you guys. So let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the Patreon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later, guys.